permission to speak. Oh, permission granted, boys. What up?
Come on. 7, 6, 5,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Goddamn blast off.
Moistly working.
Seriously.
Worky.
You know what? That's fine. That's the intro. Guys. Welcome to Mostly Walking, the show where we're going to play adventure games eventually. But primarily, we're going to do some catching up. I'm Sean Plott.
I'm Bill Grainer.
And I'm Sean Bouchard.
Oh my god. We found a time that works for everyone. Oh my god. The show is back. We're going to adjust this. And you know what? There's going to be an angelic light in the background this entire show. I don't even give a shit. It's going to stay on forever. Now, typically, if you have never seen this show before, if you're tuning in for the first time, or if you're a returning person, what we normally do is we talk for like 10-15 minutes and we go play a game. And we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Thimbleweed Park. But I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you guys in like a few weeks, so this might just turn into a 45-minute chat session, and I don't even care, because that was so stressful getting the audio to fix properly for this show, I can't even tell you, man. Holy shit, Mr. Bouchard, I'm going to start with you, because you are the man responsible for the shift of Mostly Walking from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Dude, I am sorry. Like, I threw everything off, but I'm glad we figured this out. I'm glad we're able to do it again.
Surprisingly easy and straightforward. We just moved the show back an hour.
Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah. It's like, why the fuck didn't we take that?
Everybody on the like Eastern Greenwichville times.
Yeah. I hate Eastern Greenwichville.
Fuck Greenwichville.
Western
Greenwichville. Not so bad.
Okay. That's all right.
Not so bad.
I'm all right with it.
They've got those 2 restaurants.
Yeah. You know, there's also all of our West Virginian fans can no longer tune in because it's past their bedtime. All of our fans who are perhaps in Europe, I don't know if anyone in this. I know one European watches this show, which is great.
Dang.
And that's probably the only one. So it's not like a big
we cater to the far west.
Episodes.
You know what you know who loves us though is Hawaii, the Polynesian Islands,
anybody
Moana.
east of the international date line. Like
there's an international date line. Is it a 1-800 number?
Yes, it is.
Because that means they're paying for it. Go on. Sorry, that's stupid.
I'm teaching so much this semester. It's crazy, but I love it. I totally love it.
Okay, so Sean, I want to start with you. Tell us what are you teaching right now? What are you teaching at USC?
So I'm teaching Tracy's class. I'm teaching the like first semester intro design course for the MFA students.
Up the river?
48.
Yeah. Well, no, not the. I mean 541, the grad student one.
Oh fuck, right. And then 48, 49 is the.
That's the one that we TA for.
It's the 488 plus. 488 after dark. It's
488. It's game dev nights.
Game dev nights, exactly. No, I mean that was like my absolute favorite course as a master's student here. Like that was my favorite class. And so now I get to teach it. I'm super, super psyched about it. I'm probably fucking it all up.
You might, but we'll only know in 10 years, because what we definitely do know is 10 years later, Tracy Fullerton was really good.
Exactly.
We've all had careers in the games industry. This is great.
Wait, has it been 10 years?
10 years, yeah. It's going to be...
No fucking way.
9 years, excuse me. Yeah, no, because we all got together in 2008, and it's 2017. Look at that. I met you guys like almost 10 years ago.
I've gotten a PhD. Yep. So has it been... It's 10 years since we met.
Since
we met, yeah.
Since we met, since we started, since we first did the Viz Tango for 3.
Oh my god.
The first Viz Tango, exactly, yeah.
Dude, yeah, I actually, Bill, I remember your first joke.
What was my first joke?
That not like your first joke, but the first joke.
Like I came out of the womb and I'm like, yeah, boy, are my arms tired.
Yeah, no, I remember we were in not even a class yet. It was like that orientation with Scott Fisher and like everyone. We did the roundabout back when there were 11 of us. We dropped to 10. We lost one.
Yeah, jeez.
But I can't remember who it was talking about some game where it was supposed to be a simulation in a forest, and everyone was a deer, but there was actually a limited amount of space in the game, to go around on, but an unlimited number of people could join. And so it was like a hit among a small number of academics, and it got packed really fast. And Bill, you said, do you remember the joke?
I could try. Let's see. Was it looks more like not endless forest?
No, you said.
What did I say?
You said, man, they're packed in there deer to deer. and I was just shocked at how quickly you said it. And I didn't even laugh. I was just like, oh, that's funny. Like, that was so good.
This guy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well,
yeah, so then that first class we went to was 541, and you're the professor of that class now, Sean.
How's that?
Yeah, so now I'm teaching that. They're doing procedural rhetoric now.
Oh, procedural rhetoric.
That?
It's when your ludonarratives are all in alignment.
Yeah, I mean, like, I need to brush up on my academic vocabulary for game design.
It's basically fake news in the form of game, rules.
It's persuasive games. It's using games to express specific values.
Rhetoric in the political sense. Procedural is in you are going through a procedure.
Yeah. Well, and in the sense of like argument. Like rhetoric as in debate, and procedural as in like using the form of a system. So procedural rhetoric in the sense of like using a system and the play of a game in order to make an argument or convince somebody.
So this, of course, reminds me of the story of how Monopoly was originally created as a way to demonstrate what the pitfalls of a capitalist system is, because all the money eventually goes to someone, and it's all about being ruthless and stuff. And unfortunately, everyone just loved playing it because they got to be the robber baron. And it was a huge hit, and everyone now is just like, yeah, capitalism,
that's why capitalism stuck around.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really seriously does embody the American ideal, though. It's like everybody wants to be the rich guy. Everybody thinks that, like, everybody wants to play the game because they think they will end up rich, even though, like, 4 out of 5 people who play the game are going to go bankrupt.
Yeah. And, Antifa's not so bad. Sorry. Welcome to Leftist Hour.
Whoa! Whoa! Bill. Wow. Goodness. You just like, yeah, everyone plays Monopoly because they think they'll win. And then you were like, you know what, Antifa? Bill, can we ramp into this at least? Can we have a sequence of logical steps that get us to Antifa?
Go slowly, yeah.
You know what? No, I'm
actually... It's not painful.
I'm glad, because I assume that you've had a cork on small jabs at the current political climate, and now that we're on this show again, it's just popping off.
Ugh, I'm popping off my small jabs cork for sure immediately right now. It's like,
why do you just have that nearby? Why do you just have that?
What's happening?
What is that?
It's a giraffe.
It's a giraffe.
Obviously,
it's a giraffe.
Bill, is it a giraffe that also something secondary, or is it only
it's a tape measure?
It's a tape measure.
Now
okay.
I see it. I thought it was just sort of a statement on giraffes have long necks, but maybe their necks aren't long enough.
See, that's a procedural rhetoric of this evocative knowledge object.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Wow, that takes me back.
Oh my god! I'm glad.
Tokyo.
I'm glad that was your reaction, Sean, because that was one of the sharpest eye-rolly things that I ever experienced in that entire curriculum, where I was like, but, like, isn't this a term for something that's avoiding saying what we all want to actually talk about, which is, like, what the thing does? That was a hard sentence to follow, but what I mean is that, like...
I think that was a master's thesis.
Yeah, no, it's often people come up with terms and definitions that I feel like have such poor definitions to them, you have to wind up explaining the thing that you wanted to say anyways, so it's better to literally not use the term.
Oh, you mean critical theory? that was a huge dig at critical theory.
That was a huge dig at critical theory.
Damn.
You didn't know it because you haven't read enough.
No,
Foucault.
as a master's student, like becoming an academic, the thing that like tripped me up the most was realizing that and I don't have the same dig at critical theory, but that some of these terms that imply complexity describe really simple ideas.
Yeah.
An evocative knowledge object is just an object. It's just.
What? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need the you don't need the knowledge. You just have the object. Okay, bam.
There you go.
So I'm a true believer in two things: evocative knowledge objects, and the fact that not every video game is actually a game.
Not every video game is actually a game.
Not every video game.
I like it. I like it because I take the opposite side in that.
You do?
Yeah.
Why would it just be an interactive digital thing? Sometimes.
Because well, okay, so game is a meaningless word, right? Game has no strict or definable or usable definition. So
I thought you were using Tracy's class where there's literally a book she wrote with the definitions.
Yeah, I mean, no, but the book is all
I got a
about,
Tracy story about definitions in a moment.
We try to define these words. We try to define game. Here are a bunch of definitions that people came up with. They all suck. Let's not do anymore. I mean, that's the bottom line in certainly rules of play, and Tracy borrows heavily from it.
Oh, so you're saying that the definitions are all in service of saying there is no definition. We fooled you.
Dude,
I'm saying game is a culturally loaded term that doesn't specify anything. And so my approach to it is to expand the definition and say that all video games are games, and so are a bunch of other things. Disneyland is a game.
What?
And like pretty much fucking anything.
Everything's a game. It's a lens.
They're all games.
Game design is only a series of lenses.
Dude, that's like okay. So I really like what was it? Yeah, Stephen Hawking, who was talking about how definitions and frameworks you can think of as like if you have a globe and you're to look at one side of the globe and like take a picture of it, and then someone else goes from the other side and takes another picture of it. Technically, you're both still looking at the Earth. You just have two different perspectives. It's two different lenses through which to look at the object. And I really love that quote. And I feel like, definitions are often not important in that they are strict. They're just a useful lens with which to examine something. And I remember,
that's a good point.
Tracy, like, it was like the most like Buddha moment of my entire life, because we were in some presentation and she was given like, here is what makes a game, and she was like, a game has a win condition, a game has rules, a game has resources, a game has obstacles, and there were like 15 things or something. And I said, well, Tracy, isn't a game just like a set of constraints and a win condition? And she said, well, technically that could be correct, but it doesn't really help us very much. And I think it's more important that we come up with a definition that's useful. We're only coming up with these definitions because we want them to be useful. And I was just like, holy shit, because I'm like, at that point I was like pure math background, so I was just like, whoa.
It's almost as if knowledge is completely dependent on. It's as if knowledge is completely dependent on our formulation of it. Like it's totally all subjective.
I don't believe that's totally all subjective. Yeah, no, I'm not the. I'm a very pragmatic person. Like
that's right. I'm a panopticorn. Man, that's like the ultimate folk. I keep trying to make a fuck you for one day.
God, it's great. It's good to be back. And so, Sean, has there been anything notable that's happened in your first few weeks of the semester? Because obviously there is the class that we talked about that was previously interrupting with the mostly walking time schedule. And now we've worked around it. What about the other classes? You doing some other fun ones?
So I'm the design lead for AGP, the Advanced Game Project class.
Oh, nice.
And it's my second year doing that, and so I feel like I have some idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like, the first year that you teach a class, you have no idea what you're doing. This is at least my experience with every class that I've taught. And so I love that now I have the opportunity to do this a second time, and I feel like I at least have a handle on like what's going on and what I should be doing at any given moment, like how to help people.
That was great.
So yeah. No, so I'm super into that. I gotta say, like, all right, so after I graduated, I taught the 488 class, the undergrad design class, a bunch of years, and historically, obviously, Bill and I are the exception to this, but historically, the graduate students up the river games have not been good compared to the undergraduates. The undergraduates just like fucking rock those up the river games.
And by the way, for any of you who don't know, there is this game Up the River, and the assignment was to do a variation on Up the River.
Yeah, you basically do a mod of a board game, like this really simple German children's board game.
Board game for simple German children?
Yes, exactly. And every student in the graduate and undergraduate programs at USC in interactive media like does this exercise. I am so happy with the fucking grad students this year. Like they killed it. They did really, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you remember, Bill, Sean? Because I remember mine was garbage, and we'll get to mine in a moment. But you said that you and Bill were the exceptions. Were yours amazing?
Ours is we're I don't know, Sean, if you want to talk about I'm down.
I brought it to Cardboard Camp last weekend.
Fuck, I don't even know what that is. It sounds great.
What's Cardboard Camp? No. Is this like camping, but everyone's just in a big cardboard box?
In a big cardboard box, yes, correct. And I brought a game there, and I played it with a raccoon.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
No,
is that a raccoon who's been to Iraq? Sorry.
How would it get to Iraq, Bill?
Iraq-coon? I don't know.
Just like that's a long. It's a lot.
You would get there on
we can't explain the joke. Okay, I need to hear about Cardboard Camp. I literally can't wait.
Put a pin in it.
Cardboard Camp is a semi-seasonal meetup that Asher and Jesse Vigil and another friend that I don't think you guys know from Riot, a friend of Asher's, and I run. That is basically just like bring your in-progress board games, your board game prototypes, and we play board games and give feedback from designers on like board game stuff. And it's fucking awesome. We've been doing it for a year now.
Okay, can I ask you something that's been a perennial fucking issue here?
Yeah.
Do you guys do you do intellectual property paperwork of any sort?
For playtesting? We do not.
You do not. Okay.
Yeah, but I do.
Okay. I do.
Yeah. What about it?
I wouldn't look. If you're gonna get into a playtesting environment, you need to be covered.
So I prototyped a version of Undertow.
Oh yes.
That was all playing card sized, and it was okay. Like the playing card thing was okay. Could iterate on that. I'm gonna try a board next time because I think a board would be better. But
the like waves I thought were really nice.
No, it's cool, and like so I had the cards like overlapping a little bit, and so they were kind of like waves.
Oh, okay.
It's neat, and it's way fucking cheaper than a board. But it was just like a little messy because you put down the cards and you line them up and you like overlap them and then they don't move. But because they're cards, it feels like they ought to shift around or you should like shuffle them or something, and you never do that. But we played it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's like super, super random. I don't know if you remember. Like it's totally luck based.
I mean, that's also in keeping with the theme, right?
Yeah, no, totally. But it.
No, I mean, just the whole concept.
Oh, and also the like, yes, you are going to die a miserable death in the ocean. So this is a game. in which each player has 6 swimmers.
I love this game.
and your 6 swimmers have all unwisely ventured into a dangerous ocean and are now caught in the undertow. And over the course of the game,
all the characters' name is Alexander. Yeah.
Over the course of the game, you sometimes have to move your swimmers back towards the vast ocean, where they will drown, and
for children.
And one thing that you don't quite really get, because it looks as though this would happen sometimes, but
yeah.
In reality, the swimmers, there's no way for them to ever move closer to shore. That can't happen.
Yeah, they seem like they're pretty close and they could probably make it, but they don't.
It's not possible in the mechanics.
Yeah, none of the swimmers can ever swim to shore. The only way that your swimmers can survive, which is your goal. Your goal is to have more of your swimmers survive.
Yes, although that's key. Is you don't want your swimmers to survive. You want more swimmers to survive of yours than other people's.
Because inevitably, most of your swimmers will die.
Yes.
But you have cards, and you can play a card to make a lifeguard swim out and rescue the group of swimmers that are closest to shore.
Which could include your enemies or your opponent's swimmers too.
Exactly. So you got to be careful. You got to play that at the correct moment when you have some of your swimmers and not many of your enemy swimmers. However,
and here's the best part.
You got to be careful bunching your swimmers up to be rescued, because the other thing that you can do, you can play this card to cause a shark.
Same card is on one side is life card, and on the other, if you flip it, Sean, tell them what they get.
Life card.
Shark.
Okay, so.
The visual aids today.
You can play it either to attract a lifeguard or to attract a shark, and the shark will wipe out an entire row of swimmers. So if your opponents cluster their swimmers up at all, then you would play this card to wipe them all out.
And is this your variation? This is yours?
Yeah.
We made this.
Damn, so good.
And here's the trick to the original, which is what makes me love the original, but might need to change if this becomes commercial, is that you get 2 cards and only 2 cards. There is no way to get more cards. So it's just a question of when do you deploy those cards?
And will they be sharks?
And will they be sharks? Will you use one or perhaps both of them as sharks? If you use both of them as sharks, then you are at the mercy of other people's lifeguards. There's no way that you can call a lifeguard anymore, but there's always that threat.
Man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I don't remember what mine was at all, but I do remember that no one could get to shore. The undertow was just too fast. So just every turn, it was either you went back a little bit or a lot. And it was everyone dies in 8 turns. And I don't know why this just didn't happen in testing, because I think I just roll very lucky. It's very easy to say the average dice roll is 3.5. Therefore, I can compute exactly that the undertow is doing an average of 5 pullbacks per turn, so everybody dies. So, no one could win my game. That's all I remember. It's just and there was this moment where you could see that everybody stopped trying, because in the class when you're doing the playtest, Tracy was really strict about this. Tracy was like, someone's playtesting your game, you're not allowed to talk to them. You're not allowed to talk to them at all.
Right.
As I've gotten older, you talk to your playtesters, because sometimes you're not testing everything. You're not trying to test their ability to read the rules in a vacuum. You're just trying to get a sense of how people play your game, right? But, not in Tracy's class. Literally, you should be sitting there everybody's going to lose. You're just, playing, and everyone's like, maybe if we... And, people are trying to help each other out and figure out what's up. And then at some point, they're just you see them sit back. And that's, such a bad moment in a playtest. People are like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And it's their turn, and they reach across the table, and they just sort of throw the dice back down, and they're like, all right, well, I move forward 2, 1, 2, and I'm like, the undertow retracts 5, do. It was really
I
bad.
love the moment. I love that moment when people are just playing your game out of obligation.
Yeah.
It's like they're just playing it because of the like $10 gift card.
They hate your game. Yeah.
And then you hold that over them. Like, that is power, right? This is miserable for you, but you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
You're here now. You're stuck. You are playing my game.
That's the procedural rhetoric right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what the system is telling them.
Yeah, Stanford Prison Experiment.
That's right. Every day.
Yeah, no. So I've been teaching. My birthday was last week.
Oh, congratulations!
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
And I went to an escape room yesterday as part of my birthday celebration.
Yeah,
in Anaheim. So I do escape rooms all the time now. I don't know if you guys know.
So good.
But like, we haven't exhausted the escape rooms in LA because there are a lot of them. But we've done a lot of escape rooms in LA. We've done like 20 over the last year or something like that. But we haven't been out to Anaheim, and like we figured, Anaheim. If you build an escape room in Anaheim, you're gonna have some Imagineers doing that shit, right? So
and there's so many game studios down in Irvine and Anaheim. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we went down and we did this, and it was awesome. It was really good.
That's rad.
It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's fucking great. Me. Well, dude, Bill, the hell have you been up to since August, man? What's been going down? How you been, Bill?
Good. Had my 3-month review at my job.
How'd that go?
Good.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
That's
really great. Yeah, it's really great. Oh my god, I was like, are you unemployed, Bill? Like, you're just...
I'm not. I'm employed. I'm thoroughly employed. I make little creatures and got some glowing LED creatures. So yeah, can't say much more than that. I've got really cool stuff I'm working on that I can't tell you about. Might be able to tell you more in a couple months, but I don't know. I'll see.
Bill has top secret LED creatures.
It's like some of the stuff's top secret. Some of the stuff will eventually not be top secret. But we still white label stuff. Or not exactly white label, but we're not necessarily credited on it. So I'll have to check. There's like 3 or 4 layers of me not necessarily being able to tell you, but we'll see.
Right.
Wow,
and if I can get those layers...
security.
If I can get through those 7 veils, then I'll unveil my 7.
You know, I gotta say, I want to just riff on the fact that you are working at a creative institution, and you are being very deliberate about what you are sharing and not sharing. And I'm just such a big believer in not being transparent about creative processes. I'm such a big believer in that.
I mean, in my case, I would just get fired. That's
another thing that's true. Yeah.
And
systems of incentives, right? Like that's
companies are not like.
I'm such a big believer in you being employed.
They're not indie. They are very. Yeah, like. When you're working on the toy, you put the opaque towel over the toy when you're walking from room to room with it, like that kind of thing. Yep.
Dude, that's fucking dope, man. See, I love that because the thing is that, like, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot this morning because I did one of these like get up at 6 a.m. and then like go to bed at like 8 a.m. again sort of thing. So I had like a good 2-hour chunk where I was reading about Star Citizen. And how angry everyone is about everything related to Star Citizen. And the funny thing is that if you like go read their roadmap, I mean, it's like so detailed. I mean, they basically are giving you a pretty clear visibility into like all the stuff that's going on production-wise. But it doesn't matter if you're someone who's just like a gamer because you don't have any context for it. It's just meaningless information, you know. Like
I think the sense that I get is that there are a few people playing Star Citizen, and then a lot of people who are really into this new game that is complaining about Star Citizen. like that seems to be the hot thing. And if we can find a way to like build on that success, and monetize that shit, I mean, we are set.
I mean, you know what they could call it?
What?
1-star citizen.
Damn, that's God. You really are professional.
Here's all I'm saying. The complaint-oriented discussion forums for the mostly walking adventure game that we build,
right?
Those are going to be subscription only.
That's
nice.
Oh my god, dude!
Right?
I hope that this is the way that the world goes to, where you actually have to pay money to be a dick, but you literally get immunity. Like no one can give you shit back. It's just one-way shit giving.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
Sick. God, that's smart.
What's in 1 or 2 sentences? What is Star Citizen?
Star Citizen is a shitload of modern tech trying to basically create EVE Online. Like, all the cool stuff about the spacefaring, player-driven economy of EVE Online, that, but with modern tech. Oh, and you know what?
Oh.
Let's put in a single-player campaign. Let's have a little bit more structure.
Oh, is this the one that Daniel backed a million years ago?
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know if it is, but he backed a space game because he wanted to play Wing Commander, and then he was like, they just keep...
Yeah.
It just... Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Dude. It's I saw they have $160 million in funds raised so far, just from crowdfunding.
No, it's insane.
Which totally makes sense, because let me tell you something. If I, okay, here's a question for you. Okay, suppose that I was like, hey, I want to kickstart a modest indie game. And I'm going to ask for $80,000, which is enough to get the polish we need to ship the thing.
No.
Now, if it... No.
Sorry. Right. Okay, go on.
Let's assume this was launched intelligently, not like, listen, I've written down the idea on a piece of paper, and I only need $20,000 to make an entire game, starting with this piece of paper. Like, again, let's assume it's like a mostly done thing, and we only need $80,000. To finish the thing out. Now, if it gets like $120,000, okay, cool, nice. Everyone gets the game, and we get a little bit more polish, great. But what if I accidentally raised $160 million?
Do you give it back, or do you go all in?
Like, I mean, do I say to myself, okay, I guess I'll just really thank these people for buying so many copies of the game. I sold it for $25. Wow, guys, holy shit, that was so many of you. You know, like, I feel like it makes sense to go, well, shit, if we have all this money, may as well just, like, scale up into it. I don't know.
I mean, I can sort of understand. I mean, if you're making, like, you know, let's say you're making a pretty good mobile game, and you're like, all right, I'm going to give myself I'm going to do this like luxury style. I give myself $100,000 budget, and then they give you several tens of millions. Even if you're not doing something wrong, you probably still feel like you're going to get arrested.
Oh
shit!
Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
Oh no!
Brought to you by XSplit.
Oh shit! Oh,
not
fuck.
Brought to you by
What
XSplit. What's going on?
Oh shit! Oh fuck! The audio crashed.
The audio.
Oh no!
Let's see if I can start this shit again. Oh my god! All right, guys, can you give me a thumbs up if you hear me? All right, chat. That means you can hear me. I think. Chat. Type thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, I can't hear shit.
Hi.
All right, repeater 3.
Can chat hear us? Chat, if you can hear us.
Yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Test.
If chat can hear Bill, type monkey.
Oh, monkey?
Monkey.
Hold on, watch this. Let's see if this works.
Come on, monkey. Come on, monkey. Come on. I'm waiting for it.
And now,
monkey.
does it work?
Hi.
That's
monkey.
amazing!
Monkey. We have monkey.
Oh my god!
Monkey.
Okay, so I have the most complicated fucking series of audio cables getting this thing to work, and I just kicked one out. That's what happened. That's why everything went to shit. Is I kicked one out, and somehow we're still here. I'm not going to take credit for that, but I'm going to say that that's amazing. Okay.
No, that's really good. That's really good.
Oh my god, where's repeater 6? I gotta look here. Yeah. Oh my god, holy shit.
Repeater 6. Report in.
Yeah, but Bill, have you done anything fun in the last last month, 2 months? Anything notable? Seen a good movie? Played a good game?
Oh yeah, I have. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
Been anywhere interesting?
I stopped wearing pants. I went to Burning Man.
Yes, there we go.
Why are we glossing over you stopped wearing pants? Why you just put that in there? It's like, well, I have gills now. Oh yeah, I went to Burning Man. Gills? Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Burning Man. That's where I learned to eschew clothing. Because you're in the desert. First day, clothes seem like a good idea. Second day, you zip off the bottom of your zip off hiking pants. And then the third day, you're just like, fuck it. Fuck it up. Fuck this. Fuck it. No one cares. It's just that you just need to roll in sunscreen all day. You're fine. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good to go.
Was it actually fun?
Yeah, it was. Okay, so the number one defining takeaway for me was that place, it has the highest percentage of serendipity that I've experienced anywhere. So like. You know, there's like these sort of blocks of camps, and there's like porta potties, and like, trust me, I think that the Burning Man porta potty system is probably one of the more comprehensive porta potty systems in the world. It's like, it's got to be a big operation, but like, there was a porta potty about 1.5 blocks from us, and they were small blocks, you know. So day one, I went to go pee, and 45 minutes later, I came back to camp. I had forgotten to pee. I had climbed on top of like a giant, like, luminescent snail, like a 2-story snail. I had ridden on someone's like. At one point, I got into like a driving can of sardines, driven by like Russians wearing like latex submarine uniforms. It's just,
I literally
it's
can't picture this.
Yeah, no, it's got everything. It's really good. You go like 10, 20 feet, and some random shit will happen to you. It's like really nice.
Wow. Well, did you ever pee? Did you hold it the
Yeah,
whole
I did
time?
eventually. Someday, yes. Yes, I did. I also found out that there's a big funnel culture there. There's a lot of peeing into jugs or bottles, and then taking those later to pour them out. Someone had written in the porta potty. They wrote the following: "Your time here is precious. Gallon jugs are spacious. Pee funnels make it easy to go home and be lazy."
That was not written by a poet or anyone feeling inspiration. That's actually just something a guy wrote because he thought it at that time.
It's it stayed with me though. That's
Here's the part that I'm struggling with, is that picturing the person there in that moment, thinking about those rhymes and writing them down, is the antithesis of the statement that they're making. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody
Ce n'est
took
pas une convenience.
extra effort, right? Somebody.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's, you know what it is? Burning Man is it's Skyrim, or it's Disney World. Here's the thing. It suffers from something. Too many weenies. Too many weenies. You go out there at night.
Oh.
Not as in too many penises, by the way, for viewers.
Just enough. Just enough. Yes. You see more things, more giant, like, crazy lit up things that you want to go check out. You see more of them than I would. You know, if I was an editor, I would have pared it down a little bit, spread them out more. But
Yeah.
you know, it's really rad. Yeah, it's
Yeah, a weenie is something in the distance that makes you go, ooh, I want to go there. So, like, if you play Fallout New Vegas, you look and there's a big broken roller coaster, and you're like, I want to go there, and it takes 20 minutes to get there. And there's a town there, so the roller coaster was the weenie that brought you there.
Right.
It's literally, it was coined by Walt Disney after the practice of like dangling a little piece of hot dog, like a hot dog weenie, off stage in order to attract the attention of dog actors.
Ah, dogters.
Yes,
doctors.
exactly.
Actually, it's doctors.
Doctors. That's where we get the term doctor from. Yeah.
So yeah, no. If I think Burning Man is required required experience for designers. Sorry, it's sorry.
It's required now. Gosh. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be designing, stuff like that you walk around in.
Yeah, is it? What if I don't want to be designing stuff like that?
What if I want to be designing like doorknobs? Do you think I need to go to Burning Man?
You need to go to the doorknob tent. The doorknob camp. They give out free doorknobs all day. They probably do actually.
Then you don't even need to design doorknobs. You just get your doorknobs for free.
Get your knobs.
Dude. Get them from the tent.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, dude, that's
if you want to know more about Burning Man, tweet at me, and it probably won't get back to you because I'm really busy. Really busy.
So, Bill, you got to get a good review for your 3-month review. You're making towel-covered toys, and you've gotten to pee. That's a really successful few weeks.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It was a good few weeks. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's my turn now.
How about you? What about you?
Here I come.
I don't care
who asks the host?
No, that's...
You know I do. Sean, what have you been up to? Here it comes. Well, I'm pretty much doing the same shit as always, just like streaming on my schedule, except I'm back to exercising again. I got the new workout regimen from the trainers.
Oh.
What?
And yeah, because I mean, like, it got interrupted by TI, where you're just on venue for like 17 hours straight, and then you like go home and like fucking hold a gun to your head. You're just like, oh, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Like, that's what it's like trying
to sleep, honestly.
Well, that's the experience of trying to rest during an event, where it feels like someone is broken and is holding a gun to your head. We're like, you fucking go to sleep now, and you're like, oh, because you're like so wired because you've been in an auditorium full of screaming people with some of the most amazing gameplay I've ever seen in your life, and then you try to like sleep in between those bridges. It's very hard. So I got back and I wasn't exercising, but now I'm exercising again, just doing the usual thing. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like exercising is like so tiring. I've been playing StarCraft Remastered. I've been exercising and I'm exhausted. I'm not even going to do a show this Friday. I didn't do a show last Friday. I'm just too tired, man. I just can't. I can't stop falling asleep, man. And now my sleep schedule is like really weird because like I also have continued obligations coming, so I have the mixture of like trying to stay awake and then like, did I get stuff done? Okay, like one of those things. Hence my 6 to 8 a.m. this morning. So, and the cats.
Jesus.
In other exciting news, the cats have finally discovered that the thing that we bought them is a heating pad.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So they plugged it in finally.
Yeah, they plugged it in. They took the plastic wrapping off. So I've been doing that. Yeah, so that's great. And I saw Mother, and it was bad.
Oh no!
Who's that?
Oh, it was profoundly bad. I strongly recommend you see it. It's just a shitty movie. Yeah.
So wait, there's a movie called
it's
Mother?
Aronofsky. Yeah. Darren Aronofsky's new movie is called Mother with an exclamation point. I believe it is not capitalized. It's stylized really weird.
Showtime's for Mother.
yeah. I mean, you guys should see it just so when you walk out, you're like, oh, come on.
That is so sad. I like Aronofsky.
What is this? Can someone? I don't want to watch a trailer while I'm on the show here. Can someone? Can you just give me a verbal trailer of this? Like, what if I turned on a trailer? What would I see?
I'll give you a verbal trailer, and this is a little bit spoilery, but it doesn't really matter because nothing's gonna make it good. So I went into it knowing absolutely nothing in the slightest. But basically, it's Darren Aronofsky masturbating for about 90 minutes.
Oh, well, that sounds actually pretty interesting.
But imagine if you're just like, no, I get it. Like, it's heavy-handed, the movie, is what it is.
Oh.
Is it? And I know this is probably like, I'm an idiot for asking this of you, Sean, but does it have a relationship to Rosemary's Baby?
What's Rosemary's Baby?
Yeah. Okay, that's
right. Rosemary's Baby's mother.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not actually a story. It's an allegory. And
Yeah, but
It's just bad.
Isn't an allegory typically a story? Like, isn't that one of the things in an allegory?
You'd think so. An allegory is
successful
actually a story,
allegory
but it's a
comes
different
across
story
that
than
way.
the one that
Yeah, I see.
It's a different story than the story that it is.
Yeah,
I saw Get Out.
Yeah,
Get
it's
Out
good, right?
was
Did you like that?
Good movie.
Did it make you feel like
really good movie.
different about things?
Yeah, I felt different about all sorts of things. I felt different about Bradley Whitford after I watched that movie. He's the actor who played the dad in Get Out, who also played a character on The West Wing, and is like lovable and adorable.
That's that guy.
He's that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
as soon as he puts that beard on.
Yeah, he puts a beard on, and
damn,
it's not good. No, he's fucking spooky.
You know, I want to. I don't remember who said this, but I'm going to quote someone that I don't remember. Who said, if you have a twist ending, your book should still probably be good without the twist ending. And the point was that, you know, in this context was, if you are writing a creative work, you as the author might get really, really, really excited because there might be a big payoff at the end. And so it might be really fun writing each chapter, thinking about this huge payoff that's going to happen. But if you're the reader, you don't know that that's coming, and it's very easy for those sections to drag because there's build-up and planning that's boring, that's not interesting. And I feel like, you know, Get Out, if you literally did not do anything more than just watch surface-level stuff in the movie and just treat it as just a movie, it's really entertaining, and it has very interesting themes layered on top of that you can go into, but if you choose not to, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Imagine if that base layer of a story, and then the first and the second and the third and the fourth just didn't exist, it was just 5 and up. That's smother. And so I feel like there's a lot of big questions that it poses to the audience, like early on, like, what is this thing about? And I'm going to say that, and when you're going to be watching the movie, you're going to go, yeah, I know what Sean was referring to. You're like, what's that thing about? And the payoff is actually just stupid. Like, you're just like, why'd you build that up? You know, it's like, what's behind the curtain? It's Cheerios, actually. It's Cheerios behind the curtain. And he's going to pour a bowl of Cheerios.
Cheerios the whole time.
Yeah, no, if there's
it's drink your Ovaltine.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, So I mean, the entire movie, I would say, is very well shot, very well acted, very well directed, but not good. Not good.
No,
bad.
Terrible.
Yeah. I would actually recommend
Terrible
not seeing
film.
it. You can just skip that one.
0%. Walking Tomatoes. Terrible film.
Walking Tomatoes.
It's mostly walking.
But you guys might want to see it at some point just to join in.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
3 thumbs down.
2 feet up.
2 feet up.
2 feet up.
On the sofa.
No walking. Would not walk.
Watch it on Netflix. That's what that means. Is watch it when it's out on Netflix. 2 feet up. On the
Yeah. No, that's dude. That should be our review system. Would you walk towards this or away from this?
I would walk away.
Do you levitate for this?
Briskly.
Yeah. Wow, dude, this is so fun. Just talking to you guys. This is great.
That's so
I'm enjoying the shit out
I
of
have
this.
missed it.
You know what?
Can I just have to do this in front of people?
How about we just make this a mostly talking episode and fuck Thimbleweed Park? That's great. That's what we should do. I mean, like, this is the new time, guys. Tell everyone. 8 p.m. is the new time. I really botched the start of the show. I was like, guys, hype, it's going live. Here we go. And I go live and all my sound just shut off. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. I will say, though, I've been replaying through Dark Souls, which is just lovely, which is a lovely game.
I'm still saving that one for myself. I have Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2 number dragons, demons, souls.
Yeah.
3, and I had that on some system. Like, I think I had it on some kind of Xbox, and then that became obsolete. So that went to Goodwill, and now I need to get one of those games again. But I haven't played it. Yeah.
Bill.
Demons.
You should play Dark Souls. The first one, Dark Souls.
The first one I thought was Demon Souls.
It's Demon Souls, but ignore Demon Souls. Just pretend it starts with Dark Souls. Do Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and then come back and do Demon Souls.
Okay. Or as I like to call it, Demon Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls is really interesting as a game and a product. Like, can I talk about this without spoiling? The answer is yes, but I do want to spoil. Wow, look at that.
Halfway through is there a light
Dude,
sword.
we are way out of the statute of limitations.
Ares is dead! Like,
what?
Dude, I remember when there was a guy whose name was myspace.com/Snape kills Dumbledore. It was the funniest thing. He'd just like, hey, you should check out my band. He'd link people and they'd be like, oh my god! So, the thing, there's this designer from Blizzard named John Hodgson, who's on Here's the Storm. Great dude.
John Hodgson.
Yeah, he said that like a lot of times you'll hit a point where you have a choice where you can go this way or go that way. And it's important not to look at this choice as a weighing which is the right one to go down, but that both of them will lead down to good games. Or to a good hero, or to a good whatever the hell. And it's important that you understand that it is a choice. You are choosing to go down this path where there is something legit, and that's okay. You just have to understand that you're making the choice, so that way you just don't get stuck trying to nitpick over every little step you want to take in design. This particularly happens in discussions about design. And so when you have something like... when you wind up with a lot of like indecision about hitting a lot of those forks, and some people want to go... Fuck, I'm not explaining this in the slightest. Well, God, he was... This was him stuttering, not me. Yeah. He was talking about there's the idea of, because it is a choice, it's important that you are making a lot of choices in the same theme, in the same style. And that's how you get a strong voice in a creative product. Where if you say, this is hardcore, but this is casual, but this is hardcore, but this is casual, but this is hardcore, but this is casual, you wind up having a product that's very diluted and confusing. And something that's interesting about Dark Souls is, if I remember the development properly, it's like the studio just basically went to this guy who was like a high-up engineer, and he was like, listen, I have an idea for this style of game, and if you just put me in charge, I'll just do it. Because they like needed, they had a project fall through and were having a really hard time. They just kind of needed to do a sort of Hail Mary on a game idea. And he was like, yeah, no, I have this really cool idea for this type of game. And that was the Dark Souls style game. And the thing that's interesting about them is that like every single decision in there is really consistent. And like it's consistent with itself, but as a result it feels so different from everything else, where you're in this deeply 3D, gnarled, twisted world. Like, it's very vertical. There's, like, fortresses stacked on fortresses, twisted and curling back into themselves. And there's no map. There's no map system in the game in the slightest. You have a combat system that's really, really brutal and hard. And when you die, you go back to a save spot, and save spots are extremely far apart. And when you die, your currency that you use to level up and improve your character drops where you died, and all the enemies respawn. So there's literally no enemy-based progress in the game. You literally constantly have to fight through everything. So if you die again, you lose all that currency that you built up, which is like, okay, hardcore map system, you have to just know how it works. Hardcore combat system, extremely punishing saving system. The items really don't explain clearly what they do. The inventory system is really weird and like vague. All the item descriptions don't quite tell you anything. It doesn't even give you a good sense of what you have to do. You talk to someone and he's like, yeah, there's a bell up in the old undead church. Gotta ring it. and like you're okay, and you can go in like 4 directions at the start of the game, and 3 of them are unbelievably hard, and 1 is just a little bit hard. And so, I mean, and that's what makes it just so fascinating to me, is like the first time I played, I actually did not like Dark Souls. I was like frustrated because I felt like the combat was really, it almost felt obtuse until it clicked, and then I was like, oh, I I see what this fucking game is. And I feel like that's one of the things that made the game so successful, is that like the number of people who got past that hump became lifelong evangelists for the game. And just tell everyone how fucking sickeningly cool it is. And part of what makes that occur is that it's like super resonant, because all these decisions go down this very harsh, cruel world with hints of hope. Even like the story is told environmentally and without like very much narration. But because you like see all the hints of everything, like just the design of how the enemies look is deeply rooted in the story and the lore and all the various things. You know, like when you die, you come back as an undead and there's items that restore your humanity, and you never really have a clue what the fuck the humanity's about if on your first playthrough. Like, only after a while does it actually make sense, and despite not really being told anything, you just have this very strong sensation that's very Dark Souls and very not anything else.
Yeah.
Which I think is just really cool from like a creative standpoint. The idea that a game requires so many different people to contribute to it, that part of the difficulty is having everyone actually be coordinated enough to produce a thing, instead of just everyone works for a while and then it shuts down, versus having someone have a really clear vision of what the hell they want, but that vision does have to be good, because if someone's in charge who doesn't have a good vision, everyone will devote themselves to making like a really bad game. It's just fascinating as a game to me as a result.
No, that's fascinating. I had not heard that about the sort of like creative structure behind it. I mean, but it totally makes sense. This is purely
my own reading of it. Like I don't know if he thinks any of these things, but he definitely was just sort of like, I have this idea. Here's a thing. You know, like...
Well, no, I mean, like, I understand that leading to a game that is really internally consistent, that has a strong vision and execution. Like, that is the benefit of a strong creative director, is that, like, you get a consistent vision. And somebody who can, like, guide and impose that vision on a large team, like, that's what you need to make something that has that quality, that sort of like sings, that has an internal harmony, I guess.
Yeah, internal harmony, I feel like, is really something that just rings true about Dark Souls. It's just like you're playing it and just everything feels so Dark Souls and so not like anything else you've played.
Right.
It's just great. So, Bill, you gotta play that game, man.
Cool. I'll play that game. It looks good. I'm looking at pictures.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to write that down in my book.
Yeah. You're also not allowed to pitch a game anymore without referencing Dark
saying
Souls.
It's the Dark Souls of...
Yeah, right.
Like, it's the Dark Souls of match 3 puzzle games.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of the... Yeah.
It's so funny because it's like it's one of these things where I feel like when you're trying to pitch something that is sufficiently different, what's making it work actually takes quite a lot of time to explain. But no one has time. No one wants to sit down and listen to your thing, right? Like, you know, George R. R. Martin, when he's talking about Game of Thrones, there's like, there's hundreds of things that he did that he's talked about in interviews that were like, and for this specific problem, I solved it in this specific way so it wouldn't conflict with that specific thing. And then I had this really difficult plot problem, so it took me 2 years to figure out that one, but I figured it out and everything was good. But describing George R. R. Martin's books, like in like 2 sentences, it just sounds stupid. It's like, imagine like a really dark Wheel of Time
with lots of food.
There's also there's nudity all over the place.
and nudity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like doesn't mean anything. But like Dark Souls, like to describe Dark Souls actually takes some time, and you have to sit down, you have to get the feel from it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see this shit. But man, like But now that it exists, it's just like, yeah, everyone's doing reference points of the past thing.
What? Yeah, I mean, I like to think I call things the frog fractions of watches or shoes.
The frog fractions of shoes. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you
Dude,
order a pair of shoes and then a different pair comes.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, delightful.
And they're
So-
terrible
so-
shoes,
so
but you
can
can
I
wear
just-
them on your hands.
I want to put this out there. I have played Frog Fractions, but never gotten to whatever thing it is. I just played the first little part and was like, fuck this.
Oh, I did that once too.
Yeah,
Like eventually,
yeah.
I have now actually played Frog Fractions, but
Okay.
I did that too. I was like, this is Frog Fractions. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Frogs and fractions.
I don't think I'm actually ever gonna go back to it.
I mean, you don't need to. You honestly don't. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's not bad. I'm not like,
All right.
I don't want to shit on anybody who likes Frog Fractions, but like, it's not revelatory, really.
But if we made back requests, I think it would be revelatory. That's the thing.
That would
Is
be revelatory.
Yeah, exactly. No, that
You'd have to
would.
put a Frog Fraction
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing if
No, because what you got to understand, Sean, is that back request would be the Frog Fractions of Dark Souls.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's- oh,
god.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like,
Dark
I-
Fraction.
what
Dark
if
Souls.
back request got funded for $159 million, and it just
I can
the
tell you.
scope just kept growing, and it's like we've implemented a version of every genre of game in tuples, so. There's a lot of weirdness here. Yeah, like, you have an inventory system, and what you do is you equip genres, and that just defines your camera, your moveset. Yeah,
Equipping a
motherfucker.
genre.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
It's like, no, I like
Equip a
to-
genre.
I like to have City Builder on my
City Builder.
right hand, and on my left hand, I'd like to have,
It is like the god of video
cookie
games.
clicker. Yeah, that would be
On
amazing.
his left hand is City Builder. On his right hand is
Cookie
MOBA.
clicker. Yeah.
MOBAs, Dotas,
MOBAs.
What's gonna be the next? What's gonna be the next MOBA? And I don't mean like the next MOBA. I mean like what's the next genre?
What's the next crazy
genre?
acronym that we're all
Yeah.
gonna have to say?
Yeah, no,
Crackling,
it's
we call them.
it's the PUBG games, right? PUBG has already
PUBG,
broken all the records.
PUBG.
Those
Yeah, so
PUBGs.
it's
Yeah.
What's the next one?
the one after that.
Yeah. Crombo. It's going to be Crombos.
I think
Every new game is going to be a Crombo.
I have a theory. My thought is that it's not going to be fucking VR for sure. That's going to be another 10 years. So let me just start with that right now.
NVR, not
Not
VR.
VR. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not going to
Or
be VR. But
NAR.
like, I actually think that the sort of giant MMO / procedural world thing is finally going to get solved, because there's so many people pushing on that one of those is going to click, because it's the same thing with like the battle royale games, aka the PUBGs. You play the first one, you're like, this seems like it could be cool, but it has a little too much clunk for me. And then there were 50 of them, and then PUBG came out, and everyone was like, that's
it.
I really think that's going to be the next big thing. But man, VR. Ugh.
Man VR?
Man, VR. There's only like 2 or 3 VR games that I've been like, wow, this is really cool. And the rest of the time I get so sick.
There's some VR games that I think are so awesome, and I love VR stuff and all that, except it's like it gets too sweaty within...
It's
I can play
sweaty
like
and
half an
sick.
It can be half an hour. Yeah. Plus, like, standing, it just like makes you realize like how awful it is to be standing in a room. Like, I don't know.
Oh, God.
The thing that I hate about VR is that it reminds me about how miserable it is to be a human being.
It's so true. Yeah, because like the thing is that like VR is tough to not get sick in because of being a human.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
when
I
the
mean,
world moves, my muscles automatically react to that. It sucks.
And so I don't get simulator sickness very often. Like I used to get car sick when I was a kid, but not for a long time. I have a a fairly strong stomach, and I don't have a lot of experience getting sick in VR, mostly because I avoid VR at all costs.
Nice.
But I have this thing because quite frankly, when I get in VR, I don't have time to get sick because it just gives me a fucking migraine immediately. Right. That I can't do like the stereo 3D shit.
You're in the 1 out of 10 people.
Yeah, I'm in the fucking 10%.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, let me just point out, that is not an insignificant number.
Yeah, that's right. What other games are there that you have to wear something uncomfortable to play them? There's football. How comfortable are those?
No, outfits? It's pretty uncomfortable. It's pretty uncomfortable. Skiing, if you consider any kind of skiing a game.
The torque on my ankles. Definitely. I don't like torque on my ankles.
Well,
no, I don't like
okay,
torque
so
on your ankles.
I will point out that like all of the skiing equipment is designed to prevent you from putting torque on your ankles, because you are not supposed to do that. Like that's sort of the point. That's why it is so uncomfortable.
I don't like the lack of torque on my ankles. What's the right one? Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Do you guys want to play Thimbleweed Park?
Other games that we hate? Anybody?
No. Okay. Look. Okay. So what is a genre of game that you don't get? And what I mean is like.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you like look down on and scoff at, where you're just like, yeah, I actually think it's bad, but like you haven't been able to get into the fun of.
Yeah. Let's see. It used to be sports for me, but then I had some sports fun. What else?
Yeah. What's like a big gap for you in gaming?
Maybe those like.
Well, I have some gaps. I mean, like I have gaps just based on the fact that like. I can't play all the fucking games, and so there are collections of games around genres that I so like MOBAs. Like I have not played a MOBA.
Yeah,
I understand.
Same here. No, I've played MOBAs and I don't like them.
That's not a philosophical stance.
Right.
That's just like it takes some work to get into the MOBA scene, and I got other shit to do.
I tried playing some a little dipping my toe in there, and my immediate reaction was, oh, this is the stuff that I don't like from RTS. Like this was like it was like, oh, I want to play I want to go play Civilization now. Like I want to play oh god, what's that one? The like ancient Greece RTS, like empires.
Caesar.
Caesar
too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like what is it? Age of Empires.
Age of Empires.
It was like it's like all I want to do is slowly move my peasants around to build walls. Like that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, get it. It was one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Not for me.
Yeah. I mean, so we were okay. This is a digression, but I hope
a digression.
Mind.
Literally, this entire show has been a digression. So you're right at home.
This morning, I taught class this morning. We were talking about flow states, right? Uh-huh. We're talking about like the idea that you get into an activity when you're playing a game that it's maybe akin to fun, but we're trying to like. Dig into whether it was exactly the same as fun, but you get into it and you lose yourself and you lose time, and those are some of the like key features that help people identify when they've entered a flow state or exited a flow state,
or an alien abduction,
or also an alien abduction. Yeah, no, I mean, little known fact, the first episode of X-Files, like that whole bit, Mulder was just playing Tetris.
Oh,
like, that's actually the explanation.
Tetris does give you dreams. Have you heard about Tetris dreams?
Yeah.
I had it with Minesweeper when I played it a lot.
Really
totally.
good Minesweeper dreams.
Yeah, no, I was really into trying to set like faster times in Minesweeper, man.
God.
And just like close my eyes and I couldn't stop singing it in my head.
Such like if you had like okay, we're gonna make a biopic of you, Sean Plott, and that's gonna be one of the scenes.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like little Sean. It's gonna be nighttime. Your face only illuminated by the screen. We all see that there's something different because you're glued to Minesweeper. You can't stop. You can't stop.
Dude, yeah, no, we used to go to LAN parties, and there were only like 8 ports, and there were 9 of us, and I'd be like, "It's cool, guys. Let's play Minesweeper." I should play Minesweeper at the LAN, dude.
Nice.
That's
Have
awesome.
you played it with a touchscreen?
It's amazing.
Is it faster on a touchscreen?
I'd imagine it's way faster with a mouse. I'd imagine.
If you're good with a mouse.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're talking about flow
You're
states
good with a mouse.
and how subjective flow states are, because for me, like obviously I've gotten into flow playing a lot of video games, but the earliest, like strongest flow states that I recognized for myself. Do you guys remember video stores?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you remember when that was a thing? Like you could go into a store and there were just like stacks of hundreds of video cassettes.
Yeah.
I would lose time. I would walk into a video store with like, I'm gonna rent a video to like watch. I gotta pick the best video. And then I'd walk in and I'd like get into a zone of comparing all of the videos and just reading the short descriptions on the backs and looking at the pictures and being like, not this one. This one's better than that one. This one, not tonight. This one. But like that is, I recognize that so strong in the games that I enjoy, the games that I like play for fun, are these like very turn-based strategic.
Yeah, dude, I see you on Friday night, dude. XCOM 2 till like so
I know,
late.
right? I know. XCOM, like it is literally, it's a here are some options. Sort them by various parameters.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so
like that's what that fucking game is, right?
All right.
Like you know, you're in the mood for an action movie. Pick the best one out of the video store. It's like yeah.
Action movie star.
see,
you know what would be a really good game is just a game like that, but with the Pantone color swatches. I don't know.
Are you buying a house? Is this a story about how you've been trying to buy a house lately?
Now this is a story about it's just what if you assign them stats, and then you just go through swatches and you're just picking colors.
I just like the idea of like you just put 2 colors up on the screen and say which one of these.
You
can mix and match colors into different palettes though too.
Dude, there's this app where like what you do is it just gives you a black and white image and you just pick colors and you color it in. It's really therapeutic. All right, see it like. Yeah, see, look at this. It's
yeah,
look at that.
Coloring book.
Yeah, it's great.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and it is really great. And okay, so Sean, I don't know what your students were saying, but here's my mental model for flow states. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I like this so much so that I'm gonna scratch my ears first, so that way I can clear my ear holes.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Clear those ear holes.
Yeah.
Get them out. Get them in there.
I claim that a lot of the like lean forward, get into it sort of visceral like flow state stuff comes from repeated quick approximation. And I like that phrase. Like it's because this explains a little bit about why I think chess and like Go can be very daunting to someone at first, because it's not clear how to actually make those things. But it explains why something like jumping with Mario and repeated jumping tasks, lots of just quick approximation. It's not calculation. It's not. I'm computing the exact correct thing. It's just trying to. When you have a lot of those in a row, I feel like that's when you start to just get sucked into the thing. And okay, so what's happening when you're in the movie store or when you are in XCOM. It's that you have enough knowledge, but the space is small enough that you can do those quick judgments. And
Right.
And like, because I mean, the way that flows was explained to us in the program was that it's not too hard, but it's not too easy.
Right.
But it doesn't explain what the middle actually is, like what the successful mechanism is. And I like the statement, like the quick approximation thing, because I feel like this hits on. This is why I like playing StarCraft. It's not really because a lot of the strategic components. It's because of I'm trying to sequence all the shit that I have to do, and I find it so satisfying to like F2, click S, box thing, tell it to mine. F3, click box, send it to mine. Did those 2 tasks. Yeah, you know.
I like that too, and I think that's a super accessible way of describing it and wrapping your head around it, Sean. So kudos to you for that. I will point out that there are actually 8 criteria to describe the flow state itself.
Oh, I heard about this.
And they're not pithy. Like the thing that you remember is that diagram that shows like, you know, down here is tedium and up here is frustration, and there's like a margin band in between, and that's where you want to keep your player. But there's like so it's a task. It has to be a task that the participant believes they can complete. They have to have time and space to concentrate on it. They have to be given clear goals and immediate feedback. They experience a sense of deep and effortless involvement in what they're doing. They experience a sense of control over what they're doing. They experience a loss of self-concern while they're engaged that then becomes a heightened sense of self-awareness after it's over. And they experience this sense of transformation of time, usually time going by more quickly than they realize. So that's if you want a description of what actually is that middle band, it's not that it wasn't done. It's just that it's not like
I'll still stick by my statement.
Right?
I'll still stick by my statement.
Because I like yours.
No, I'll stick by my statement that it lacks a definition, because those are the if you come up with the thing, you can use those. Those are evaluators of what the thing is.
Well, they're I think they're intended to be like characteristics, like descriptive characteristics.
Yeah, but you can't design to them though, really.
Well, some of them you can. Some of them you actually have control over as a designer.
Like space and time. Yeah.
Yeah, what I would say is that you need to have a starting concrete thing, and then you can tune it based upon those criterion. Yeah. But like, where do you start? Like, I am creating a brand new game genre.
Up the river. You start with up the river.
Yeah, like if you say up the river, or if you say to me like, okay, what would be interesting? What creates flow state in PUBG? Right. We would say,
sure.
What are the methods of quick approximation? Okay, it's judging various angles, various hiding spots, looking around, and then I'm judging I'm safe. Okay, where do I want to go? Going, continual checking of things. There's like very clear moments of that. Okay, what is it in StarCraft? It's the constant sequencing of shitloads of actions going on. What is it in XCOM? It's trying to do exactly what you said, having a whole bunch of shit in the parameters that you're trying to judge them by. And the important thing is that it's approximation and estimation and not calculation.
Right.
As much, I think. I claim. And I like that.
No, I do like that. No, I like that a lot. I like
Mario
that a lot
jumping, Rocket League driving the fucking, crashing the car into the ball. Like, Dark Souls, judging animations and trying to see if there's the right time to hit it. So things like timing, aiming, physics, all of these things, I feel like relate back to that statement of quick approximation.
Actually, that shines a lot of light onto why our Fraction game was not so good.
Which Fraction game?
The Talalak's book. Talalak's book. Also the title.
Oh, yeah. Also the title.
What are you saying?
The title was...
Talalak's book? What?
The title's a little rough.
What?
Talalak's book.
Wait. Oh, is this the one you made with
With the bird and the guy.
This is a Crater House game.
No.
Oh.
This isn't Crater House.
No, or was this the one you made with?
This was USC.
Was this the Center for Research on Education Standards and Student Testing?
Yes, you're right. The cats game.
Yeah.
What's Tlalex's book? Clue in! Why do you keep saying these words?
Tlalex's book. CLLC. Tlalex's book.
You're just saying. You just keep saying it. You're not explaining. You're just saying it again and again.
Logan had this idea. Logan had an idea.
Of course,
to make an
every
LLC.
great story starts with Logan had an idea.
Logan had an idea to make an LLC that was called CLLC LLC. CLLC LLC.
Fucking Logan, man.
Oh God. Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, so he had this idea. I'm ready, Bill. I'm ready.
Is there
no. That was it. CLLC LLC.
CLLC.
Where does Tlalex's book come from?
Tlalex's book. USC.
What? No. Okay,
Sorry, I'm cracking myself up. Tlalex's book. Okay, let me see if I can make this straightforward. Tlalex's book was a USC Cat's Crest Gill game with
Oh, is this the one you made with Dayun?
LA.
Birds. Yes.
No, but it was a partnership with UCLA, right?
Yeah, UCLA, Cat's Crest, Gill, USC acronyms.
It was an exercise in how many acronyms we could string together. And then
each one added $10,000 to the budget.
And then removed. It's
removed.
Definitely removed. And then you gave it a name that looked like it must have been an acronym. Could not have possibly been anything other than an acronym. Yeah.
Tlalex's book. That was the name of the game that you made?
Tlalex's book?
Yeah, so for any of you who are curious about what Bill's talking about, if there's a YouTube video I have called The Story of How I Almost Died, where I talk about my presentation of my work. So there were a few groups. One was me and Dan. One was Bill and Dayun. Dayun was another USC MFA. We were LLC. Oh, yeah. Puppet Man. Yeah, people talking Puppet Man. Yeah, so it was an educational research game to give to like middle and high school students to hopefully teach them some math, or at least just to get some data and like.
Just to
get some data, man.
So
like,
correct.
Strapped cameras.
And I mean, like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I was 1 month into this, and the game, it was just like, technically it was a game. According to Sean, everything's a game, right? Like, the green screen behind me, that's a game, right? Like, the cats are a game. This microphone is a game, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Finding shapes in clouds.
Whatever we're doing now.
That's a game, and
whatever the fuck we're doing.
And so too was Puppet Man. It was a game, right? And
so too Puppet Man. That sounds like a 1970s movie.
And Dan and I weren't quite sure what to do, because what we could have done is said, no, it's not fun. We must rework it. We must rework the whole thing. But instead, Dan and I just, whatever they asked for, we just put in the game. We just literally said yes to everything.
And we continued that. Daniel and I continued that in the Crater House too.
Yeah, dude,
and just say yes, nod your head, and build it.
Yeah, and I can code very quickly, so I would do one all-nighter a week, and I would just do you remember that? I would do one all-nighter a week and just code the fuck out of that thing. Like I wouldn't think about it until I got done with class on Tuesdays at 4, and then I would just work until Daniel and I just went to them on Wednesday, and then I would come home and sleep. And so, I always got everything done, and it was awesome because I got so fucking much done, and Dale knew exactly what he needed to art, so he got so fucking much done. And Tracy would just be like, "Sean, they are so happy," they are so happy. I mean, just like everything. You just get it. They just can't believe it. And I was just like, yes, what I did. I'm like, huge circles under my eyes. Like, oh, yeah. And I think they were like so happy they wanted like more student groups, but like I don't know if this was the case for your game because I was busy all-nightering once a week. Like did you try to make yours a game? Did you resist the will of the UCLA crew? Because I was just it's going in.
We were working with a different group. We were working with education psychology. So we were making a game with educational psychology restraints. Restraints. Educational.
Yeah,
you got those educational psychology restraints.
They're a little tight on the wrist, but they still lock you in for the psychology. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It helps, honestly. So that like we couldn't use different colors to represent anything. We couldn't.
Was that an accessibility constraint? Like what?
No, it was because it was known that like colors only serve to disrupt the learning.
Oh right, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that were known.
Learning cannot take place in a colorful environment.
This
is well known. Yeah. We've known that since like the 60s. Mm-hmm.
They were like, we want to make this game and we want to make it conform to like, it has to honor all these like learnings that have been learned about learning. And by the end it was, what's left. That's what we made our game out of.
So that's Talaluk's book?
Talaluk's book.
Was that what it was? Is that so the long and short is that Talaluk's book is the name of the game you made?
Yeah. It's not a bad project. It wasn't. It was not a good game, but it was not a bad like the design decisions were. The thing that I liked most was we had to at some point we had this thing where it was like these cliffs and you could like multiply or divide the height of these columns, right? And you had to like match it up so that you could platform across.
Right. That's so much better than Puppet Man. Oh my god, that's a really good idea.
Is it though? Because what it ends up being is you walk up to you Mario your way over to a platform, and then you have to do math in your head. Like that's what that became. But one thing I'm proud of is that is that we had to at one point they were like, all right, well we have to at some point scaffold them over onto only doing numbers.
You have to wean them off the jumping.
We have to wean them off of spatial.
No, we had the same thing. No, yeah.
So what we did though for that was we made nighttime levels where there's fog that obscures the heights of things. And it looks pretty damn good, to be honest.
So you have to, so you can see like the base of the towers and the numbers involved, and know you're going to be jumping.
Yes.
But you can't actually see whether or not they line up. You have to do the math.
Take this elevator into the cloud. Yeah, exactly. That was a tough one. Oh yeah. Also, it's like we figured you can jump up or fall down exactly one unit, right? And to enforce that with the jumping, it's like jump height. Okay.
Sure.
To sell that for falling, we decided that if you fell too far, it was dangerous, and so your friend the bird would come and catch you.
Was that Talaluk?
No, that's just the bird.
Oh fuck! I so badly want to know more about this word.
Talaluk is a.
What's the book?
Huh? The book?
What is Talaluk's book?
The book. His book is what you use to like. His book is the I think it's like the parchment thing that you use to make these numbers and
to impose
equations
math upon the world.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You scribe it in there.
Can I suggest that maybe that shouldn't have been the name of the game?
Dude, I just that's so smart.
I wasn't the writer.
You weren't the writer. No, I mean yeah, emergency.
The writer was a friend of ours. So who is a writer? Who is a video game writer? It's a long time ago. And, hey, you don't want to throw her. I'm not trying to throw somebody up. I'm saying, we probably shouldn't.
No, dude, literally, all of these game projects are from under the bus. Just simply talking about them. Dude, in Puppet Man...
Yeah, this is... Nobody's proud of.
In Puppet Man, the gist of it is that your character, Puppet Man, would jump onto trampolines that had fractions written on the trampoline that would then launch you a number of units equal to whatever that fraction was. But the thing is that there were big red stripes in the back of the level that denoted what a unit was, what a unit of one was. So if it was over here, you knew that this was one, but if it was really close, you knew that this was one. But you didn't know that if you were a middle school student. And what they determined was that it was not necessarily that this game taught you how to do fractional mathematics, but rather, if you didn't know fractional mathematics, you didn't know what was going on. that was the conclusion.
Really
is that
good
separating
people who knew fractional mathematics from people who did not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They determined a strong correlation between your pre-existing knowledge of fractions and your ability to do anything in the game.
Oh god. Oh god.
But it was amazing, dude. I created a level editor in text documents, so if they wanted to make levels, they could just do it. So
pretty rad.
They just made all their levels. It's not fucking hard. It was XOOO XXO OO XXXO, and then you hit enter and you type 1/3, 1/2, 4/5, 4/5, and then it would make those 4 trampolines, and it would start Puppet Man where you put P, and X's would be empty spots, and O would be places where you could set trampolines. Boom.
I fucking love
fucking
All right. So I just googled UCLA education Puppet Man, and Google came up with some results, and it was oh, that doesn't look like it. And at the bottom it says missing Puppet Man. They filtered it out. It's well. Yeah. Where can I find this? I want to find Puppet Man.
It's been erased from the internet.
She's a puppet man.
So I'm just looking up UCLA Puppet Man.
It's gonna be a long, long time. Touchdown, something.
Let me Google that for you. The show.
Wow, I can't find any footage of this game.
I think I know how to find it. You have to go to Game Innovation Lab.
So it's not on the Game Innovation.
It wasn't out of the Gill.
No, but I think.
Fuck, man! Why does it keep trying to get me to switch, dude? I don't know, man. It was so great. It was so amazing. Oh, it was the best.
Crest home.
Oh,
they changed their website. Product.
Those the greatest people.
I
had to hand them the code.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Oh, please, please.
Wait, this is
spell
save
Crest with
patch.
2 minutes.
This is save patch. Save patch?
Wait.
Oh, you can download it.
Link it in the chat. Oh my god.
You can download it?
Wait, it's different now though. Now it's about paths through a. Oh, because they redid everything we made. That's right.
Oh my god, boy does that. Wow, they use 3D art in this shit.
There's
wow, holy fuck, there it is. Hot damn, there it is. Fucking save patch.
I really don't like the art direction that they went with Tlaloc's book.
For Tlaloc's book?
Yeah, I mean, for me, anything looks better than the shit I gave him. Dan would make art, and I would just be like, all right, red rectangles, that's what's going to be the demarcation line. So it's just this mixture of stuff Dan made. Just terrible. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, we had Aaron Reynolds and Dayun doing our art. So, never mind. Aaron of Nevermind.
Yeah.
Big names,
So it was
cool games.
scary as shit.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Oh my god. Well, guys, we've been going till 10, so I think we should just call it, man. I think that we've decided that we are capable of showing up at 8, and I've now figured out the sound issue
More
on the
or
computer.
less.
Because I do have to get up tomorrow. I have to get up at 5:30.
That's too early.
Jesus.
I'm going to. I was invited along with some other folks from our company to go to a client's place in LA. So I'm going to fly down, be there for the day, and then fly back.
I did that once. I did that once for a Hearthstone stream, and then afterwards I fell asleep. I fell asleep like almost in the middle of my stream. Yeah, it's hard.
It's weird, and like honestly, the travel lag, like the getting exhausted by flying several thousand miles is rough, but it was worth it to do it once for me to have the experience of getting on an airplane with no luggage.
Oh, weird.
That is weird shit.
Yeah. That's weird. That's going to be so weird.
Yeah.
Wow. What a weird... I bet only really very few percentage of people do that ever.
I mean, I've only ever done it once.
Yeah. Like if you have another house somewhere maybe with clothes in it,
right? That has clothes in it.
Yeah, I would love to go to an airport with just like phone, wallet, keys, and just go to my second house.
Whoa.
Dude, it's gonna happen after back request. I'm just gonna take the funds and be like, listen, we only asked for 80,000. It was 159 million. I bought houses on houses. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna deliver a really crap game that we spent $80,000 on, and then the rest of that money is second houses.
Second houses. Third
I have
houses,
4 second houses.
Exactly.
The 4-second house.
Well, guys, do you want to play Thimbleweed Park next week? I think we should play Thimbleweed Park next week.
Yeah, I think we should either play that or something else.
Great.
Think about it.
Well, hey, I'm Sean Plott.
I'm Bill Grainer.
I'm Sean Bouchard.
Thanks for watching Mostly Walking, where today we did mostly talking, but boy, was it a lot of fun. Woo! I'll see you later, dudes.